and all the other stuff. So I actually am doing this route. We used to do this thing, but now since they've
So welcome back, fellow builders. As I said in a previous video, we are going on a Malibu cruise with our car group, Antelope Valley Auto Enthusiasts. It starts up here in Palmdale and a little bit of freeway driving, and then cuts through, we go down into Woodland Hills and then through a couple other canyons, and we end up on Mulholland. And then our last stop of the day is going to be out at Neptune's Net, which is, as most of you probably know, Neptune's Net is famous for the scene in the original Fast and the Furious movie where after they built the Supra, they raced the Ferrari and then they stopped and got shrimp. That was at Neptune's Net. That's out in Malibu, California. So that's where we are headed on this cruise. After this cruise, I'm going to make a little close up to the video later on, and it will be kind of where we're going with the Caprice from this point on, how well it did in the canyons, so compared to some of the other guys, and just my general thoughts on how well it actually handled. So keep watching, and I hope you enjoy this little video of a couple parts of our cruise. I probably won't be able to shoot a lot of video while we're actually going through the canyons. It's a little hard to hold the camera, and I don't have a mount yet for like the outside of the car, or a good one for the window, and my GoPro's dead, of course. So we'll do some stuff on the freeway. I'll get Kayla to control the camera a little bit, just some footage cruising around, and every now and then we're gonna stop and take some photos. So we're headed out to the meet point right now, like I said, in Palmdale, and we're going to leave from there. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed that short little montage of the clips that I did take on our trip. I know, like I said, it wasn't a bunch of like actual driving footage, but I really want to get one of those car mounts for DSLRs and stuff, and they basically have like 3 heavy-duty suction cups. You can mount them pretty much anywhere, and all the arms all kind of articulate. We actually saw a Challenger while we were out there cruising around that had one, and I don't know, I could probably put it like on the passenger window right on the outside, or maybe I could even make some sort of permanent fixture to mount to the bull bar to have a little bit more security. sometimes those suction cups just don't give you the best feeling of how well they're going to hold your expensive equipment. So that's definitely going to be on the list before the next cruise. Another thing that I want to do is, as I said before, is lowering springs. And I'm not sure how low I want to go. And I'm not sure the current status of my dampers, of my struts. So if the struts are blown, basically it would cost me a lot of money to do lowering springs and replace all the springs, or all the shocks and struts. So we'll see we're gonna look into the status, the condition of the struts and shocks, and if they're blown, we might just go with coilovers, because BC makes some coilovers out there. Megan Racing has coilovers, and then there's a couple other like Australian brands that the guys use on G8s and the SS's. So we're gonna do some research on that. Same thing with sway bars. We actually didn't have a ton of body roll, but if I could upgrade the front and rear sway bars, it handled really neutral. I didn't have a lot of oversteer unless I wanted to have a lot of oversteer, which was easily controllable with just the throttle. And then, so we got springs, struts, sway bars, and tires. Tires is the big one. These tires aren't as hard as I thought. They're 340 treadwear, which is decently soft, but I don't know if it's because of them being police tires.
It's got cop tires, cop suspension, cop shocks.
That they are pursuit rated, and if they're a little bit harder than what the treadwear rating actually indicates, but they don't really make a lot of noise, which one way, if you can't really feel the car sliding, that you can tell you're sliding is by hearing the tires. And I could hear, there's other people's tires I could hear that were in front of me, and I could hear their tires squealing. I don't know what the condition of their tires is either, but basically I could hear their tires over my car. So probably looking at something a little bit softer. I think these were 340 or 350 treadwear. I'll probably go down to something like 280 to 300 and maybe go up a size. These are currently 235 50 18s, and I would like to go up to maybe like 245 or 255 wide tires and slightly softer compound. And other than that, there's not much that I really plan on doing immediately in the handling department, other than really the only other thing after that would be like bushings, do bushings everywhere. But for the cruise, it handled really well, really neutral. I didn't turn the StabiliTrak off at all. I didn't even really see the traction control light come on that often. And I drove in sport shift, and it does a really great job of downshifting and holding gears when you want it to, almost like a manual would, or if you had like paddles. This is probably like the best torque converting automatic I've ever driven. I haven't driven a lot of new ones. The newest one before this was probably in a car. I've driven newer trucks, but in a car, Kayla's Subaru, it's probably the newest one I've driven, and that's 7 years older than this car. But that her car is 13 years newer than my old Subaru. So my old Subaru, which was terrible, both my old Subarus were terrible. Going to hers, I was like, wow, this is really great. And then going to mine, is almost like a culture shock. coming from an automatic to an automatic. It was crazy. First time it downshifted on me going into a turn when I touched the brake, I was like freaking out. So probably won't touch the transmission tune at all. Engine tune I won't mess with at all either until we're supposed to be getting the E85 gas station out here. So I want to do some stuff with the tune for E85, just so when I want to go play around I can run E85 if it's available. But other than that, I'm really happy with the car. So for cruising and kind of for twisties, the car doesn't need a lot. Like I said, coilovers and sway bars and will be great, and some tires. We'll get into drag racing another time. There's other stuff that I want to do that has to do with more straight line racing, but it wouldn't really affect much in the corners. So we'll talk about that another time. But overall, really happy with the car. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or you want to see anything more specific about the car, I know if you go back, I did an intro video on the car. I was kind of vague. I didn't really explain some stuff. So if you guys have any specific questions, leave them in the comments below, and I can always do a question and answer about any car, honestly, this or the Miata or even the Subaru SS, if you want to see some video on that about the car more than like the other video that I just finished editing. So yeah, let me know what you want to see and what you think of this video, and thanks for watching Will's Builds. I appreciate it. I know we're just getting started, but I've had some really great feedback so far, so thank you guys. So until next time, just keep building.